So let's talk to Melissa Byers, who was assistant stereographer on Gravity. She's in our central London studio now. And of course, the celebration, as far as the nominations are concerned at least, 10 nominations for Gravity, right up there at the top with American Hustle. You must be pretty pleased about that.
I think we're all hugely and immensely excited about Gravity being nominated. So many UK crew involved. It's a great achievement for everybody.
Well, yes, that's right. And are you surprised at the success that this film has had already? Did it feel special when you were working on it?
It felt special from day one. Sounds like a bit of a cliche, but right from the onset of being involved in the project, I think we all knew it's going to be something special, and everybody involved pushed the boat out to make sure it achieved its aims and goals.
And the film's already done well at the Golden Globes, but how important are Oscars to people who've worked on the film? I mean, we all know that Oscars can give films a boost at the box office, but how does it feel personally and emotionally to be endorsed in this way?
I think everybody who's involved in the film industry would always be tremendously exciting to be even nominated for an Oscar. It's a great thing to have achieved for all of us.
Can you give us an idea of what your role involved? Forgive me, but I don't really understand what a stereographer does. Can you explain what your role was?
You're not on your own there. It's a role that often has to be explained. Basically, a stereographer, or assistant stereographer in my case, would really be looking at helping create the vision of the 3D for the film and telling the story using 3D. So whether that's kind of flying through space and debris, you know, sort of the more fun stuff, which is great to use, or it could be some of the more emotional moments with Sandra, sort of when you're right up close to her, and you can really create the volume and roundness to her face and give an experience to the audience that just would not be possible in 2D.
Well, yes, and as I understand it, the film has obviously had a great deal of attention for the success of its use of 3D, and yet it wasn't shot in 3D, is that right?
Yeah, it wasn't shot in 3D. Initially, some tests were shot in 3D, but there were a number of variables, one of them being there was some very difficult wire work, and also creating zero gravity proved a challenge. But in the main, they also ended up using robotic arms, which sometimes came as close as 10 centimetres to Sandra Bullock's face, and that kind of rig in 3D at the time would have been immensely huge and hard to move fluidly, and the arm wouldn't have taken the weight. So it made sense as well, for that reason, for the safety of the actress, not to have this huge rig right up to her face. And also, so much of the film was conceived in the computer and done in special effects at Framestore with Tim Webber, and it made sense to just create a 3D camera, a virtual 3D camera on the computer.
And extraordinarily skillful and incredibly effective, that work. Does it frustrate you at all that the more technical nominations for the Oscars don't get as much attention as those for the directors and the actors?
It doesn't surprise me. I think we're all used to it. We all like the glamour and the glitz of the actors, and us technicians, we're glad to get a mention. We love what we do. It's great just to have a mention, basically.
And also we should mention the British element of this film, because it was filmed, wasn't it, at Pinewood and Shepperton. What do you think the appeal of Britain's studios are to some of these big films?
I think if you look at the Oscars over the years, there's always a huge amount of UK creatives and technicians involved in behind the scenes, or, you know, up front on these films. And that's down to the tremendous skill set that we've got in the UK and the professionalisms of the crew. We're lucky to have lots of great film schools. I myself went to the National Film and Television School in Beaconsfield, and they're really sort of second to none in providing an environment where you can be creative and have access to amazing facilities.
And presumably awards, not just Oscars, but the whole awards season contributes towards maintaining that kind of reputation.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it gives public acknowledgement of the work that's done.
Well, really interesting to talk to you, Melissa Byers. Thanks very much indeed, and of course we wish you all luck.
Thank you.
And just to remind you that on Sky News